everyone. A very good morning. You've tuned in to Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Mubina Kapasi. Markets continue their downward journey. We are in fact sub the 12,000 mark, and as we speak, we are at the day's low. Sensex losing 165 odd points. Quick look at the mid and the small cap index, and they too aren't faring any better. In fact, they are losing absolutely in line with the benchmark indices. Now, as you know, Market Fatafat is the show where we talk about all the individual movers and shakers in trade. So let's do that by first up introducing our technical expert of the day. That's Vinay Rajani of HDFC Securities. And from our research team, we're joined by Pranay and Vivek. Morning, everyone, and let's kickstart the show with a Jindal Steel. This, of course, is the big loser of today after the Supreme Court has refused any sort of interim relief for JSPL. And just a reminder for all our viewers, while, of course, earlier the Supreme Court had given the green chit to Sarda mines, now the question arose as to whether Jindal Steel can pick up the iron ore that they had already purchased. There were fines as well as lumps and an adequate quantity for it to last them for, the next couple of months. So they would be more or less sorted on their iron ore requirement if in case they were allowed to pick up the iron ore stock lying at the Sarda mine or the pit head. Now, Supreme Court, meantime, however, has put a spanner in the works over there by saying that, you're not going to be allowed to essentially pick up the iron ore yet. You have to wait till the 17th of January at least, when we will pass a final order. So there's no temporary relief of sorts granted to JSPL. And, the minute this was sort of announced by the Supreme Court, the stock took a sharp knock, almost 10% gone now as we speak in trade for a JSPL. But do remember, 17th of Jan will be the final hearing, and that's perhaps when we will know what the Supreme Court is finally deciding on. 2,000 crore rupees is the value of the iron ore stock lying at the Sarda pithead that belongs to Jindal Steel. Okay, let's move on and talk about the auto stocks, because that is something that's been a sharp mover. The sector, sectorally as well, this was one of the few gaining sectors. However, a stock like an Eicher Motors has completely lost steam, and just in the last couple of minutes, we've seen a sharp crack. Vinay, what do you make of the stock price of Eicher?
Yeah, good morning. Yes, Eicher Motor has been correcting for last 4 or 5 session, and nice correction, healthy correction we have in fact seen. Currently it is trading at 21,570. I see a support around 21,200, which is a very crucial one. If this stock breaks 21,200, then the cut would be deeper, and below to 21,200 it could plunge down to 19,500 also. The developments are negative. The oscillators have been showing negative divergence. The other moving average setup is also going negative. So I feel that if you are holding a long position in Eicher Motor, you should keep a strict stop loss at 21,200. Below 21,200 it could plunge down to 19,500. So overall, if you look at August 2019 bottom, it has risen more than 54%. Recent high was like around 23,500, and on the bottom side in August we saw a low of 15,200. So after a rise of 54% in the stock in last 3 to 4 months, now it has become overbought, and it could reverse the trend also. So keep a tight stop loss at 21,200. Below that it could deep could be cut. It could be at 19,500 in short term also.
All right, that's the recommendation then coming in on a stock like Eicher Motors, and you could take that into consideration when you make an investment decision. Let's move on and talk about another stock in focus, and that is Yes Bank. Now, Vivek, before that, we'll go to Pranay for CG Consumer. Pranay, what's the latest for this beleaguered company?
Well, CG Consumer Electricals has seen an OFS from Advent International and Temasek. This has been a block deal of about $150 million, in which about 8% stake has been divested, and the average price of the deal was done at about 251 rupees per share, which was about 5 to 6% discount from yesterday's closing price. And after this, you should see the stock price stabilize a bit, because this was a little bit of an overhang for some time, and now that is gone.
All right, 1.6% gone for CG Consumer in trade. And Vivek, Yes Bank, another investor's name has been, brought about, who will be pumping in some money in the bank.
Well, Movina, not a single day goes by where we don't talk about Yes Bank, especially on Market Fatafat. So what's actually happening as far as Yes Bank is concerned is that incrementally, remember day first the company said that there's a whole host of investors that's looking to invest almost close to $2 billion in the bank. However, some of the concerns persisted as to number one, the quality of the investors that the company has said. Number two, whether RBI would allow so much stake buy in the bank itself by the various investors. And today, incrementally, the fresh piece of news that has come in is that the $120 million buy that the company had said that is from a US fund house. ET reports that this particular company could be Capital International. Remember, Capital International is a very well-reputed name, holds almost a lot of trillions of dollars of assets under management, and this particular name again will lend some amount of comfort. However, at this point of time, market is awaiting for fresh triggers and clarity, and the actual amount of capital being issued or capital that the company will get in. Overall, at this point of time, markets are not really cheering Yes Bank. Stock is slumped in today's trading session as well.
The day of losses for Yes Bank, 5% gone. Now let's talk about a pharma MNC pharma name, and that's Pfizer. This stock has certainly seen a great up move. Its trading continues to trade rather just a couple of rupees away from its record high. Third straight day of a rally for Pfizer. And since September, we've seen a more than 40% surge come by for this pharma major. Now, remember that earlier in the day, we also had a chat with pharma experts to talk about what exactly is it that's aiding the rally. And today as well, it's not just Pfizer that's posting in those gains, but stocks like a GSK Pharma, Abbott India as well that are gaining. Now remember that we have had accelerated product launches since 2018 that have been paying off. Plus, most of these companies have fully tax-paying companies. So the corporate tax cut as well that was announced by Nirmala Sitharaman will go a long way in essentially boosting these companies' EPS. So great move seen in pharma MNC pharma names. Okay, and Vinay, let's talk about the metal index because today, and especially the steel stocks, so many days of gains today, it's taking a breather.
Yes, Mobina, JSW Steel is down by 4%. In fact, Nifty Metal Index is down by 3%. So, entire sector is feeling selling pressure right now. JSW Steel, yes, till yesterday the trend was up. I think we have to see how it pans out further. Like 250 is a very strong support right now. It is currently trading at 258. So, according to me, 250 is a very strong support. Overall setup is still bullish with higher tops and higher bottoms. So, positional traders can still continue at their long position, keeping a stop loss at 250. If this stock breaks 250 levels, then I see a trend reversal on the downside. So still hopes are there. Today's fall might be a temporary correction or running correction, we can say, after a negative development in the US market, but we have to see on closing basis also. So I think 250 is the ultimate stop loss for the trader. That should be followed on a closing basis, but overall chart still gives me a hope that it will resume its uptrend, and about 265 to 68 levels it could further go down up to 85 to 90 odd levels. So you have to follow the levels, and currently stop loss should be placed at 250 odd levels.
All right, that's the view then on a JSW Steel and the strategy that you could perhaps adopt. Okay, and Pranay, Biocon yesterday as well, so we saw a nice up move, and we've got an official confirmation as well from Biocon with respect to trastuzumab. So how important is this drug? What exactly is the latest update?
Well, this is the second biosimilar drug that they have launched in US in partnership with Mylan. It's a blockbuster drug which has a market size of about $3 billion over there, out of which the addressable market for them is about $2.2 billion, and they expect to garner a major share of this over the next couple of years, given that there are hardly any competitors, though there are some who have filed, but they are yet to launch. And also they have a 33% clear profit share in this, so the earnings boost is also going to be significant. Not just that, with this launch, and there's another one coming up of Glargine by March 2020 latest. So given this kind of fast approval rate that they have in their pipeline, they are anticipating $1 billion to come in from biosimilars over the next couple of years, and management has reaffirmed their guidance. So the stock had opened up nicely, about 5-6%, but has given up part of those gains as of now, still holding in the green.
Well, 1.5% higher, 290 rupees is where Biocon is at. Now let's take a look at what the RWI small case is up to, and is it seeing the same amount of decline as is seen in the benchmarks. That should come up for you in your screen, on your screens. Okay, not bad. It's actually resilient, 0.2% higher at 569.86. And on that note, we'll take a very short break. Do come right back. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now. Let's continue our countdown of movers and shakers. Vivek, Jubilant Food is seeing a nice rise today. What's the update?
You know, when you're talking about Jubilant Food, what is the update is that Nirmal Bang has come out with a note where they have actually noticed that Domino's Pizza has gone ahead and hiked prices across various product categories. In fact, what Nirmal Bang is saying is that after the Q1 FY20, where the company saw very little price hike, after a very long time, the company has taken price hike. They believe this is a positive development, and they believe the price hike is in the quantum of 4 to 12%. So this is again something, this will be quite important and quite a significant hike as far as Jubilant Food is concerned. Again, the stock is doing quite well for itself in today's trading, in today's extremely choppy trading session actually.
Yeah, this one too is off the day's high, but nevertheless still left with gains of about 0.7%. More from the auto space, and Ashok Leyland is something that's worth flagging off, because while all the stocks in the auto sector are gaining, this one is actually left behind. It's 2% gone, and yes, many of the stocks in the auto space as well have come off very sharply from the day's high. But for Ashok Leyland in particular, the losses are a bit more magnified, because do remember that, owing to the whole festive season, we did some resilience come by in some of the passenger vehicle sales, or rather a bit of a recovery that was seen, at least in a company like Maruti. But for Ashok Leyland, for the CV side of the auto space, things were down as ever, because once again we had the CV sales falling sharply, 22% of a dip on a year-on-year basis. The MNH CV sales were particularly down, and that dragged the overall sales volume for Ashok Leyland in November. However, what many experts that we spoke to are saying is that infra activity should improve from here on, and that perhaps could aid demand in the fourth quarter. So let's see what sort of a recovery, and if there is indeed a recovery that we'll ever see in Ashok Leyland, at least in this fiscal. Stock down by 2.5%. And Vinay, Imami today is seeing some nice traction after very long. We are seeing the sort of intraday move that we are seeing today, more than 3% of gains. In fact, it was gaining 5% earlier. What's your view here?
Yeah, Imami today rising with a higher volumes. That is happening after a long time. If we look at the June 2019 bottom, it was 238, and since then it was a clear-cut panic bottom, and after that it has been forming a higher tops, higher bottoms on the charts. The stock compared to other FMCG stocks has been underperforming, and now after today's move, it looks like that it is trying to come out from that bearish zone. So I think the immediate resistance is around 349, which happens to be its previous top on the chart. So let's see how it pans out, whether it is crossing 349 on the upside or not. But yes, looking at today's move, I'm a bit hopeful, and it should march towards the previous top level, which is 349. If this stock crosses 349, closes above that, then we can expect aggressive returns out of this company. And as far as support is concerned, 310 is a strong support, which is the recent bottom on the charts. So you can keep a stop loss at 310 and aiming a target at 349. Above 349, the stock can even march towards the 400 odd levels. So you have to follow the levels, and 349 and 310 is a consolidation zone which needs to be tracked closely.
Okay, that's Vinay's recommendation on Imami. Pranay, RBL's QIP has opened today. What's the expectation in terms of response, among other things?
Well, yes, this QIP which has been launched, the issue size is a little over 2,000 crore rupees. Also, the indicative price has been set at about 325 per share. So this is lower than the indicative value of the pref allotment, which we were getting earlier at about 340. So it seems that the roof on the price has been set as of now, and until this is completed, the price will remain a little lower.
Right. Stock number 12 then, and Vivek, Coal India's November output once again down in terms of percentage.
Well, absolutely right, Mubina. So Coal India's November dispatch numbers are down almost 8% on a year-on-year basis. So the only positive thing that you can take out from this is the fact that, sequentially or on a monthly basis, it's managed to perk up a little bit. Now, the main reason is that slight demand revival coming in after, the very high monsoon, after the unseasonal monsoon. Also, contractor issues, labor issues were something that at this point of time have started easing a little bit. But the main reason for the 8% downtick on a year-on-year basis is the fact that demand from power plants is something that's gone down quite significantly, and this comes as a bit of a surprise. However, Coal India at this point at what City feels is that the underperformance may not continue for too long. They find risk reward quite favorable, and they actually have a buy stance as far as Coal India is concerned.
All right, that's the view then on Coal India. City as well has remarked on that 8% drop in November dispatches. Now let's talk about another metal stock, and that's HEG. So much happening on the global front that is not boding well for the metal stocks. On one side, of course, because of the entire protests in Hong Kong, China is absolutely furious with Donald Trump for signing the Hong Kong legislation, where, of course, and obviously it is supporting the pro-democracy protests. That in turn is going to sour US-China trade relations as well. So a spanner in the works over there. And then plus you have Trump reimposing tariffs on Argentina and Brazil metal imports. So all of this not boding well for the economic environment around the world, for the trading environment, and in turn for metal prices. Graphite electrode prices, remember last month as well, we saw it at a multi-year low. And HEG, Graphite India, have been falling for some time. This is the fourth straight day that we have seen HEG fall at 1,051, 1 week low. But with that, we're out of time. So Vinay, Pranay and Vivek, thank you so much for joining us on Market Fatafat. But before we let you guys go, just a reminder for all our viewers that 16th and 17th of December is that one event that India Inc. and every Indian will be watching out for. That's the India Economic Conclave, because we are going to chart out India's ambitious roadmap to the $5 trillion economy. Here are the minds that will shape the opinion: Naseem Nicholas Talib, Geeta Gopinath, Shakti Kanta Das, D. Subbarao, Mark Mobius, Anil Agarwal, R.C. Bhargava, and not only that, even Richard Branson. So, have you bought your tickets yet? If not, book your tickets right away. www.indiaeconomicconclave.com. Remember, mark your calendars for the 16th and 17th of December. Taj Land's End in Mumbai.